jumping jacks, tax. Got my taxes jumping, now my bag coming with that major money. Dripping blessings, just might buy a house for my mama. Bad credit, don't even sweat it, cause they'll repair it, ain't no question. They can do it, it's a major movement.
What's up, y'all? It's Prince Donnell, the pastor of business and also the founder of Jumping Jack Tax. And you are officially listening to $1 Million Life Lessons, the Man Cave edition. I'm here with my right-hand man, also the man with the cam,
Ron Vann Dam.
And y'all know how we roll. It's the Man Cave edition. For all the brothers listening to this, ladies, you can listen too. But we're going to be talking about all different topics from self-discipline to sex to finances to entrepreneurship, everything, right? To really ensure that as men, we continue to grow into our purpose and into our God-given rights, our God-given abilities, so that we can lead our families, so that we can lead our teams, and we can make the world a better place before we die, because we will. And that's the entire goal of this, the Man Cave edition. And y'all might have heard the last episode where we talked about AJ passing his exam and all of the different stories that came with that. So I want y'all to check that out before you hear this one. And more importantly, if you're somebody that is interested in going into entrepreneurship and you're like, Don, what do I do? Where do I go? Look, I always tell everybody, need-based business is the way to go, right? Need-based business, something that is never going to go out of style, something that's going to still be here when you're gone, that your kids can eat from, right? Something that almost everybody is your customer, and something that if you look in your community, it's a very important service to the community. So it's the reason why I started Jumping Jack Tax, and now it's the reason why we offer the opportunity of showing others how to start their own tax businesses as well. So if that's you, go to jumpingjacktaxes.com and you can watch the video. I think it's about an hour long, breaking down starting a virtual tax business. And if interested, you can fill out an application. With that said, let's get right into it. What's up, Van? How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. It's a nice little weekend. Football Sunday. The Eagles won Thursday, so you know what I mean. First in the division, so we get on that.
First and foremost, I want to say shout out to DJ Metcalf. For those who don't know, wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks. Great guy. This man's talented. I just got to shout out the fact that when we talk about discipline, right? When we talk about discipline, that's what DJ Metcalf is a clear example of what discipline, sacrifice, and consistency and never giving up looks like. For those who did not see the play, Russell Wilson throws a pick. When he threw the pick, DJ Metcalf, his back was turned to the defender who caught it.
It's DK. You can say DJ. DK.
Oh, I said DJ. Oh, DK. I'm sorry. My fault. My fault. DK Metcalf. Okay, yeah. So let me start it again. For those who did not see that scene, DK Metcalf is a clear example of what I talk about when we say discipline, consistency, never giving up on yourself, the play is never dead, and that you always got a second chance. Let's just go over this play. Russell Wilson drops back, throws the ball, pick. Defender catches it. DK Metcalf, his back was turned to the defender, so he didn't even know a pick even happened yet. Defender starts running down the field with the ball. He got like a 10-yard. He's about 10 yards ahead of DK. DK turns around.
Already running at full speed.
Yeah, dude running full speed. He booking it. He about 10 years down. DK turns around, realized that it was a pick. When he realized it was a pick, in his mind, he said to himself, he turned around, looked first, and was like, and then out of nowhere, while the dude is 10 yards ahead, he starts running. The rest of his team, by the way, are not running as fast as him. Like, the defender already got past Russell Wilson, who was the last man to stop the defender, or he was going all the way to the crib. Touchdown. So everybody stopped. All you see in the play is DK Metcalf running. I'm talking about like dude striding down the field. I want y'all to picture 10 yards. If you don't know what 10 yards looks like, it's a lot. By the way, if somebody got 10 yards on you, the odds are you're not catching them. This man is flying down the field. And the entire time you see him just running and just never giving up. And he running, pumping. And next thing you know, he dives and catches the defender right before he makes it into the end zone. And everybody's like clapping and they like going crazy because this man didn't give up on the play. But I'm going to tell you why that wasn't even the best part about it, right? That wasn't even the best part. What he did was extraordinary. Anybody that's extraordinary would never give up on themselves to begin with. Here was the best part, Van. The best part was that the Arizona Cardinals never scored after that. They actually didn't score during those 4 downs. I think they had to settle for, actually, they didn't even settle for a field goal. They went for it on 4th down, and they actually got stopped, which means that DK Metcalf ran down, stopped them, and then they didn't even get into the end zone on 4th down, which allowed the Seahawks to get the ball back. That was the real miracle in the entire thing, was that he allowed his team to be put into a position to win when they all gave up, and he still kept going anyway.
Yeah, that was a big momentum switch too.
Huge.
If they would have scored, you know what I mean?
And this is what we talked about on the last episode of how your energy affects everything that happens with your team. As men, your energy plays a huge role. Like, although the Seahawks lost, it was a great game. Yeah, it was a great game. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they had a huge chance of winning. The fact was, he put so much energy into his team as a leader by them seeing what he did on that field by running 100 yards and not giving up on himself and stopping that play. That made his team go crazy the rest of that game and say, nah, we got to step it up. We got to do our thing. That's what I mean when I say, as men, we have to give that energy when it comes to our family, our business, our finances, our wife and children. That's the energy. When they running slow and they feel like, oh man, life ain't really doing right now, everything's going crazy around me, are you going to be DK Metcalf that's running down that field and say, nah, I don't care what's happening. I know I can go get this guy. I know I can go get that goal. I know I can go get that money. I know I can go get this crib. I know I can get that. That right there was what I'm talking about as men. And if y'all didn't see that play for the men, please search DK Metcalf. And I promise you, the second you search it, it's going to pop right up. That was probably the best play, one of the best plays that are going to go down in NFL history. Simply because he had the heart and the discipline to not give up when the rest of his team slowed down. So the point of that is, man, as a man, look at that play and ask yourself, are you going that hard? Ask yourself, do you possess that same type of energy when things are chaotic around you? Are you going to show up with your head high, your chest out, and say, yo, although we got beat up, although this happened, although I'm tapped out right now, I got to put life into my family and into my kids, into my business, and I got to tell them it's going to be okay and that we're going to get back up and make this happen again. We're going to do it again. We're not quitting on ourselves here. And that's the difference between somebody like DK Metcalf, who is one of the best wide receivers in the league as of today, and probably going to end up being the best receiver in the NFL come soon, because I think he's still like a rookie or second year in. Yeah. I don't even think he's been in the league for more than 2 years. So that's the difference between somebody like DK Metcalf and somebody who's average. That's going to be the difference between you as a man that's going to be an extraordinary entrepreneur or somebody's average. That's going to be the difference between you being a phenomenal husband and one who's simply average. That's going to be the difference between you having a lot of success financially or simply average. The decision is totally up to you, or whether you want to keep running or not, or you want to stop because you feel like it's too far ahead. That decision is on you. But I can assure you, the extraordinary people always believe that they can catch that defender, or AKA that goal or that skill or that issue that they're dealing with. The extraordinary person say that they can. If you're an average person, your mind is going to tell you that you can. Both people are right. So that's what I got to say about that. That's how I want to start it off. That was one of the best plays I've ever seen, and I now want to mirror that to my life. Anytime that I'm not running that fast, Van, let me know. Because look, yo, I got to run. Get out there. Let's do it. And to end it from there, you also got to have a stamina as well. Because I'm going to tell you, he would not have been able to run 100 yards to catch that dude had he not had the stamina and been training prior to that game, which means that for the men listening to this as well, you have to train yourself from a discipline standpoint. And a lot of people was looking at me crazy when I used to say, yeah, man, I'm not going to eat meat for the next 60 days, or I'm going to stop eating meat for the next 60 days because if I can't force my body to not eat this meat or this chicken that I want, that turkey, that beef, if I can't force myself to not eat that, then I'm not going to be able to do that in other areas of my life. Which means that if you saw DK Metcalf training and he was able to get that guy, it's the same thing in you got to train your mind to say, I'm not going to do this, and I'm going to train myself I'm going to train my mind to operate the way I want it to operate. And by doing that, when it comes time for the real test that God is going to put in your life, the real test that people are going to bring forth, the real test that's going to happen in entrepreneurship, your family, you've been training so hard mentally that by the time that comes, you'll have enough stamina to be able to run.
Sure.
So, man, that was extraordinary. Yeah. And the DK Metcalf, if you see this, shout out to you, brother. I want to meet you one day. I'm not going to lie. I never seen something like that before. That's greatness.
It is.
So anyway, sorry I went off on a soapbox.
It'll say it kind of goes into what you were actually going to talk about today, which is mindsight and eyesight, because everybody's seen, you can watch the tape yourself. Everybody looking like, man, he out, man. We just gave up 6 points. Dang, Russ. DK. I mean, you can take it from there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to tell y'all, man. So the other day, I was listening to Les Brown. For those who don't know, one of the greatest motivational speakers to ever walk this planet. I've seen him speak on 2 separate occasions. Once when I was 18 and another time when I was 23 at the Leah Core Center in Philadelphia. The other time I had to fly out to see him. And every single morning, I listen to some sort of motivation on YouTube because I like to train my mindset for success, right? As an entrepreneur, I got to train my mind to see the things that I want it to see, not the things that are actually happening around me, because it's all about perception. And one of the things that Les Brown said when I was listening to one of those motivational videos the other day, he said that there's a difference between eyesight versus mindsight. I want all the men to listen to this. This one messed me up. He said eyesight is what you see, right? It's like right here, your 2 eyes. Eyesight is what you see, like what's happening right here in front of me right now is what I see. He said, but mindsight is perceiving the things that you see. It's all perception, right? So I might see this, but I could perceive it totally different. The same way that 2 people could be sitting in the same room and you told them the exact same thing. One person got this out of it. Another person got something totally different. The eyesight was the same. The mindsight was different, right? And mindsight affects your actions. It affects your emotions, right? On what you perceive from it. It's the same as if I put a 6 in front of you, a 9 in front of you, depending upon where you're standing, you see a 6 or you may see a 9. It's the difference between lack and abundance. It's a difference between success and failure. It's the difference between I got $10 in my account and I feel like I'm broke, and the difference between I got $10 in my account and I can stretch this and turn it into 100. Both people are right. It all depends upon the eyesight and the mindsight. And I'm going to tell you something. I remember this too. Story like it was yesterday. And by the way, DK Metcalf, like you said, for Seattle Seahawks, that was a clear indication of eyesight versus mindsight. When the rest of his team was out there and they saw that pick and that dude ran past Russell Wilson and he was gone, headed for the end zone, eyesight said that this guy was going to score. We might as well take the play off. Let's get Russ back on the field. Let's go back down the field and score. Mindsight said, DK Metcalf said, well, I don't give a damn what y'all think. I'm running down that field and I'm going to grab him, because if I get him, our defense can stop them from getting into the end zone, and then we don't even got to put no points on the board. Both people were right. As you can see, DK was even more right because of his actions that he took because of the mindsight. Anyway, I remember when I was 18 years old. For those who don't know, I was in all types of entrepreneurship and hustle since I was like 17, 18. One of the first entrepreneur endeavors that I went into was network marketing, which I believe that network marketing at MLM is one of the best foundational pieces to building your mindset and just qualities of entrepreneurship. It's a great training ground for you. And I remember I was in a company called 5 Links, MLM, and every year they have national conferences. This national conference happened to be in Miami. Now, mind you, I'm 18. I just got my job working at the bank. I was working at Republic Bank at the time. And, obviously I'm not getting paid a whole lot of money to be able to fly out to Miami. You know what I'm saying? The ticket's $300 round trip. Plus I got to get a hotel and everything. And I had to buy tickets for the national conference too. So I'm like, damn, I ain't really got it. And at the time, I think I only got like $100 in my account, right? But the national conference was about 3 weeks away. And what was interesting was they had just released the lineup of the speakers who were going to be there. And I remember at the time, I think, was it Tony Robbins or Darren Hardy? I think it might have been both of them. If you don't know Darren Hardy, he wrote the book, The Compound Effect, which is a great book that everybody should read. It teaches you about the compounding of your money. Dude is one of the best speakers I've ever witnessed. Darren Hardy, he was on the lineup. And then I believe Tony Robbins was on the lineup too. Now, mind you, Tony Robbins is like a legend. One of the greatest speakers. Dude is a legend. You meet him, you made it, right? So I'm like, damn, they put the lineup out. I only got $100 in my account. So I'm sitting here, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I got 3 weeks. I got a decision to make right now. Do I take this $100? Plus, at the time, I was like, damn, should I just maybe overdraft my account and buy these tickets? And then do I overdraft my account, buy these tickets in that flight and that hotel, and I go out to Miami and I'm pretty much broke, don't got no money. I'm popped. I can't even get nothing to eat out there.
Yeah, let's go to eat now. I'm good.
Nah, I'm good. You know what? I got food back at the hotel, right? You know what I'm saying? So do I go out there with no money, popped, and do I get the information? Or do I stay home with the lack of information? Now, Eyesight is telling me, Negro, you're broke. Don't book them tickets. Not to mention, I got my own apartment and everything, and at the time I'm paying like what $500-600 a month in rent, and I got utilities and all that good stuff, and I'm like, damn. Well, I got a decision I got to make. Do I stay here? Do I do the typical thing of staying disciplined because Eyesight tells me that I don't got the money and I should not be spending this? I don't give a damn what Darren Hardy or Tony Robbins got to say. That ain't going to help you. Eyesight will tell you that. You need to focus on your responsibilities here. Or do I utilize Mindsight and realize that although I'm broke right now, which is a temporary word, by the way, although I'm broke right now, if I take this flight to Miami although I don't have no money to get any food when I'm out Miami, I'm still going to get fed mentally from two of the greatest speakers that I've ever met in my life. And I could take this information back home that I was fed and I could feed myself later on because the information I'm about to learn is going to last me a lifetime. Right? Now, obviously, you know what decision I made. Yeah. I took that flight to Miami. I said, I'm out of here. Not to mention, it was Miami. I've never been to Miami before. I'm 18. I'm like, damn. I couldn't even drink a nut when I was out there either. So I didn't even really get to enjoy the festivities of Miami. But I fly out there and get the hotel. My account is overdrafted at the time. And I'm waiting for my actual check to drop that Friday. I believe that I ended up flying in, I think, on that Tuesday or Wednesday. And my check don't drop till Friday. So it's like a 2-day gap between damn. Because it was from like Wednesday to Sunday. It was like a 4 or 5 day conference where they had different speakers out. They would train you on how to run your network marketing business, all that. So it was a real good conference, So end up overdraft my account. I'm overdraft a couple $100. The bank allowed me to do that with my debit card because they want to take their overdraft fees, which is a whole nother story. So I get out there and I got to wait 2 days for my check to come. But at the time, I'm literally plugging in with everybody at that event. You never realize how much more extraordinary something is and how much you appreciate it when you on your last and you got to get every piece of information that you came there for. It's kind of like I understand when they say when you go to church and the pastor be like, yo, somebody in here that need to come get what they came here for. You like, yo, that's me. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, but when you broken inside, you like, dog, I gotta get what I came here for. Passive. I gotta wait for you to come to the car. I gotta talk to you. Same thing from a financial perspective. It's like when you don't got nothing and it's like, this is all you got. I literally was there and I was waiting. I'm there early in the morning listening to the motivational speakers that's there. I'm writing. I got all the notes. And I got all the footage. I actually just posted it on my Instagram page earlier this morning. I got all the notes, all the footage from every single motivational speaker. I was there from 7 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. when they ended it out. And then from there, they had little parties and everything where I was able to network and all of that. Bro, I maximized on that event. I even got the chance to meet Darren Hardy. I shook that man's hand. He signed my book, The Compound Effect. I still have that book. I met this dude, millionaire. Right? And I had a conversation with this man at 18. So I didn't get to meet Tony Robbins. He on a different level. He don't meet people. But I was able to be in his space and feel the man's energy and say, yo, I want to be like that. And he was talking about how he flew here on the jet and like all that. I'm just like, damn, like, yo, I want to be there one day. So the point of this is the mindset allowed me to get fed while I was out there, get all the information that I needed, be around two extraordinary multimillionaires who are at the top of their careers, wrote New York Times best-selling books, businesses that are booming, and I was able to be out there. And on top of that, I was able to meet other people that I was able to network with and learn from and get the information to where now I'm reaping from my mindset at 18, I'm reaping the benefits of that at 26. So had I shorted myself then because of eyesight, I would have shorted myself today at 26. So the point is for anybody listening to this, but specifically to the brothers, because I talk to my brothers a lot. The point is for this is that a lot of times your situation from an eyesight standpoint could look effed up. You like this, yo, I'm popped. This ain't the right situation for me. Everything is chaotic around me. I don't know what I'm doing. From an eyesight perspective, you're 100% right. You're not wrong. You're right. But from a mindset perspective, you're 1,000% wrong because all you're doing is perceiving it different. And as a great leader, as men, we have to be great leaders. You always have the ability of finding a solution. You always have the ability of not only finding a solution, but you also need to possess the ability to think long term. And say the decisions that I make today, although it could short me right now today, I might get shorted today, but I'm going to gain in the future. But a lot of times as men, there's so much that's going around us and we want to get rich so quick. We want to get a quick flip. And that sometimes by getting that quick flip, we are removing ourselves from the investment that could be made into our lives that's going to carry us for the next 20 years. That's why for me, I was able to short myself right there at that moment and say, I'm going to figure this out later on because that's $1 million investment that I made into myself. A $1,000 trip would turn into $1 million investment. So at the same point, we got to look at that and say, what are some of the things that are happening in your life right now that you could short on? For example, like what you doing? Like, yo, you smoking weed every day? Look, I ain't got nothing wrong with folks that's chiefing. Look, do what you do. But at the end of the day, is you shorting yourself on smoking weed for a minute and saving up a couple dollars? Is you shorting yourself on that right now going to allow you to reinvest that money into self-help, self-motivation, or something that's going to get you out of your comfort zone that's going to last you in the future? And then in the future, when you got all the resources that you need, smoke away, homie, do what you got to do. But right now, is that the right decision to make? If right now, is it the right decision to go out and get a brand new Benz and spending a hell of a check just because you can right now? But would you rather short yourself right now, stay low key, do what you need to do, and then 20 years from now, you good? That's the difference between eyesight and mindsight. And like I said, both people are right. Whether you see the eyesight or mindset, you're both right. The question is, what decision are you going to make and how do you want to see it? And I think that's the reason why I'm even in the place that I am today is that, and people like, they look at me and they be like, yo, Don, yeah, I think you kind of yo, you're crazy, Don. Like nothing gets to you. Cause the thing is, everything gets to me. I'm still human, right? Everything gets to me. When people say things about me, when things are happening around my life right now, when I make certain moves that don't work out, or like it's a lot of pressure on me, or like things are shifting, hell yeah, things get to me. But here's the difference. The difference in me and when things happen to me, and the difference that may be from you when things happen to you, is the fact that from an eyesight perspective, I know that it's happening, but from a mindsight perspective, I know I can fix it. And I also know that it's temporary because it's a process. It's a process. And I know that with a process, there's always an ending to the process. So with that said, yes, things bother me. Yes, I get hurt, but it only hurts me temporarily. Like when I tell you I only give something this amount of my time, the second that something is done, it's over. At that point, I've already found the solution to be able to overcome everything that I did not like. That's what you have to do as a man, especially for your family, especially for your children and everything. That's what I mean when I say don't walk around here with your head down and saying, oh, woe me, things didn't really work out for me right now. And you expecting people to pity you, and you expecting for your wife, your kids, and everybody, your family and all that to hug you and say, yo, everything cool. Dog, nobody cares. Like, newsflash, nobody actually cares about you. People care about their own lives, and they care about what's going on in their life. They don't care about your issues and your problems. You might got a couple people that's down with you and they fam, but for the most part, 99% of people don't care about you. So you going around them with your pity and all of that, dog, it's either you going to step up, grow a pair, and look it in the eyes and say, yo, I know that this is still going to be here until I do something about it, or you're just going to sit in misery all day and allow that to affect you and allow that to have power over your life. And that's the beauty of us living in this world with God, is that, yo, we have power over everything in this world. We give it power. We give that power. We continue to give it. We continue to feed it energy. When you don't feed something energy no more, you know it's actually dead. It's dead. When I no longer feed it my energy, my time, my attention, it means that it's dead and it's talking to itself. It doesn't even exist to me. And when something doesn't exist to me anymore, my actions are no longer playing a part of what does no longer exist. Right?
True.
If I deleted Shorty phone number on my phone, I'm no longer operating and trying to operating around my actions around what's she doing. She don't exist to me no more. You hear what I'm saying? Like, It doesn't exist. So like, that's the type mindset you gotta have, man.
Yeah, I feel like some people come to a crossroad where you have to start training your eyesight in order to affect your mindsight, which it kind of reminds me of this story. So this man had went to this preacher, and he was telling him like, yo, like my house and my farm, I just can't really stand it right now. My wife, she's always nagging. The kids are running around. My daughter's always asking for stuff. So like, can you please help me? So the preacher was like, all right. God said do this. God said take all the chickens in your farm and bring them in the house. He said, all right. So he went back. All this clucking, all this feathers and stuff around, it's a mess. He said, hey, preacher, like I did it. It's getting worse. Like I really don't like it. I'm still not happy. He said, all right. So God told me to tell you to, take the cows and the horses and the pigs and also bring them in the house. So he did that, went back. House was even more chaotic, mud everywhere, horses breaking stuff, and it was just so crowded, he had no space. So he went back to the preacher, said, yo, this is really not working. Are you sure God's telling you to do that? He's like, yeah. He said, so God said, now take all the animals out the house, just put them back in their home, put them back where they belong. He said, all right. So I went back home, and he came back to the preacher. He said, yo, it's so peaceful now. I got so much space. And his mindset hadn't changed because he was in the same situation he was before. But once you altered your eyesight that you had, his mindset, his perception on his family had changed.
Totally changed.
And it also brings me to a personal story too. So I recently lost my little cousin. We grew up together. Me, my 4 cousins like in the same crib, so he's like a little brother to me. But we kind of distanced in the past few years just because he was doing stuff that I didn't really like him doing. So we always used to bump heads, like, yo, you need to start doing this, whatever, young boy stuff, you know what I mean? So once I lost my cousin, I've noticed, which I mean, naturally, me and my cousin started coming closer together, you know what I mean? So it seemed like while we were drifting apart, God had to take a sacrifice from us in order for us to grow back together. Yeah. So it changed our mindset on how we treated each other. We loved each other more because tomorrow ain't promised. Like once you lose the youngest, the baby of the crew, the one you thought you had more time with and more life, your mindset completely changes. You know what I mean? Because like I said, the eyesight wasn't there. We can't see him no more. He's not going to be at Thanksgiving or Christmas this year. You know what I mean? So I really encourage people, like you were saying, and kind of brings back to the DK Metcalf story, that he trained his eyesight in order to affect his mindset. So all that stamina he had to run those yards, that discipline, that training, that was the power that God gave him in order to do so. So. Yeah, I really hope they actually, all you listeners, take that into perceptive and just do one thing. We're just asking for one thing. Just focus on one thing and change the eyesight, and then let your mindsight, run wild and just see the results you're going to get. And let us know. Comment, subscribe. I don't know where you could DM Don, blow his inbox up. Let Don know what you did.
No, that's real life, yo. I think everything you said was a fact. Like, perception plays a huge part in everything that you do. It affects your actions. It affects your energy, like everything, And yeah, man, if it's just one thing that we could give y'all just from this specific podcast itself, this episode, man, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't even want to. Just this by itself is enough, Mm-hmm. Like eyesight versus mindsight. If you can master that, you're going to be able to master about 98% of the problems that happen into your life. Like 98% of them, like it's going to roll off for you, Like, and eyesight versus mindsight also plays a huge part into manifestation too, because you can also change your mindsight. Well, hold on. You can change your eyesight and your mindsight through proper manifestation and through changing your surroundings, right? Because you become what you think, you become what you think, you repeat what you hear, and you act like what you see. So if I know that, right, because everything that goes into here goes into here, everything I see here goes into here, right? So when I say that, you could change your eyesight and your mindsight just through those 3 things on what are you seeing, what are you hearing. Let me tell you, I just posted something on social media Monday morning, and I was looking through my Facebook last night. And as I'm looking, you ever looked through your Facebook before and start seeing all these posts from like 2014?
Oh yeah.
Yo, I got caught in a rabbit hole. I'm just scrolling. But here's the craziest part. In 2014, I was 19 years old. What was extraordinary to me was at 18, 19, I had pictures. I was next to a Bentley Mulsanne, and I'm like, I'm going to have this one day. And then I had pictures shaking the hand of the founder of 5links, which was a network marketing company worth $80 million. I'm talking to this guy. I got pictures next to... I got pictures in rooms next to other CEOs, like a big companies, talking to them. And I was manifesting to myself that I was going to be a millionaire one day. I was posting all this on my Facebook page. I was posting all the books I was reading, from Secret of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Great book. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. How to Win Friends and Influence People. The 50th Law by 50 Cent. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Mastery. Power. I could keep naming so many different books that I read from 18 to 19 all the way up to 25. It was a point where like I was looking through and I'm like, damn, I I remember I didn't listen to the radio for 5 years. I downloaded an app called Audible, and I literally bought every book. And the Audible, I think, was like $8.99 a month, $9.99. And every month you would get a free credit to be able to buy a book. Every month I would train myself, just keep buying books. And then while I was in my car, I would plug my car up and I would just be listening to the Audible books, right? And at the time when I was dating different shorties and everything, they hop in my car. I ain't listening to Lil Wayne. I'm listening to T. Harv Eker. They like, who this dude? He a rapper? I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah, dude.
This a skit?
Yeah, nah, he writes success books. And they like, yo, why you listening to this? I'm like, because I know from a mindset standpoint, I'm gonna be there one day. But I gotta train my mind to already believe that I am that person before I become that person. So people used to laugh at me. Like I used to have friends, shorties they used to laugh at me like, yo, bro, you really take this serious. I do. Everything from I met Eric Thomas before. I drove all the way to Atlantic City to meet Eric Thomas. I met all my favorite motivational speakers. I'm looking at all these different things that I was doing on Facebook, and I'm like, damn, that was 6-7 years ago that I was already training my mind to be successful. So then when I look at myself at 26 right now, a lot of people will be like, yo, Don, how you get successful at 26? Now, how did you start seeing early success? I wouldn't even call it success. It all depends upon what you call it. How did you see early success at 26, right? An emerging company. How am I making the right moves? How am I so disciplined right now? Right? Why is my mindset the right way that it is right now at 26, which to some that's rare? Well, the reason why that is because I was training for 7 years and I'm starting to see the manifestations of the things I was doing at 18 and 19. Don't believe me? Look at the facts. I posted it on my Instagram page. Every post that I had on Facebook, I posted it on my Instagram. Showed you. The only difference between me and the person listening to this is that at 18, I was training already at that time, listening to every single book, buying every book, listening to every mentor, going to meet some of the best motivational speakers. I already had started in network marketing. I was hanging around the older people and listening to them and the successes and the failures that they had. I already failed a couple times over the past 7 years. I took risk on myself at the time. I was sitting in cars. Yo, I remember I used to drive to dealerships and I used to say, hey, can I test drive this BMW? Can I test drive this Benz? Can I test drive this Rolls Royce? They wouldn't let me touch the Rolls Royce, but they'll let you touch the Benz and the BMWs and the Range Rovers. Yo, can I test drive those? Can I test drive the Maserati? And I would sit there and you give me your ID, fill out some information, waivers and all that. And I would just literally sit behind the car and I'd just drive it. And then what I would do is I would fix the mirror, right? I fixed the mirror so that I could see right. I would fix the guy that was sitting next to me, the salesman. He was like, why are you fixing all the mirrors and all that? I'm like, because it's my car. Of course I'm gonna fix all this. I used to put my wallet in the thing. He like, damn, where we going? I'm like, don't worry about that. It's my whip. I gotta get my seats and everything right. You gotta feel that, right? I literally used to do that. I got pictures and videos of it. People think I'm crazy. They think I be capping. I'm not capping. Right. So I used to drive past and go into the nice neighborhoods and sit in front of those big houses and just sit out there like, yo, one day I'm going to be here. The point of that is the reason why I say all of this is that I changed my mindset at an early age at 18 and 19. I changed my mindset. I changed what I perceived. I'm a dude from the inner city of Philadelphia, uptown Philly, from the hood. Right. The only difference was that I didn't allow the hood to be the only thing that I saw. I didn't allow that to be my end destination. Like, oh, this is where I'm going to end up. Okay, I see all my other homies around. I didn't allow that to be my end destination. I said, I got to get outside of this. I got to change. And I got to go ahead and I got to see other things. I got to see what the world has to offer. And I know that the world has much more to offer than living inside of this crib right here, living here in the hood. Like, I know it has more to offer for me and my family, but I got to go see it. I got to go touch it. I got to go visualize it. And more importantly, I got to get around the people that are going to help train my mind to be able to get there, right? Mindset. So with that said, when you ask me that question, Adon, why have you seen the early success that you see now? Why are you so disciplined? Why you kind of got a lot of answers to different things? Cause bro, I was doing this for 7 years, no cap. 7 years since I was 18 years old, no cap at all. Look at the posts. I invested thousands of dollars into self-discipline, thousands of dollars into self-help, self-motivation, flying places, meeting people. Dog, that's the reason why, as of today, I'm starting to even see some early signs of it. And even then at today, I'm going to look back at this 10 years from now when I'm 36, and I'm going to say, yo, from the time I was 18 all the way up to 36, that's about 18 years. 18 years I invested in self-help, self-discipline, failure, businesses, this, that. Well, of course, at the age of 36, I'm probably going to be in a very, 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 very good place in life, because success leaves clues. And the thing is, for everybody listening to this and the fellas, what are you looking? What are you watching? Right? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you visualizing? What are you writing down? What are you reading back to yourself? Or are you just watching chicks on the gram? Right? You watching chicks on the gram twerking. You know what I'm saying? You watch them twerking. You watch turning up. You know, double tapping every chick on the gram. Or are you following the right pages that are giving you the information that you need? Instead of flying out to Miami, are you going to a convention where all the motivational speakers is at so you can get some information? Are you listening to Gunna, which, by the way, Gunna, think you're a great rapper, bro. I love you. Would you be listening to Gunna, or are you listening to Les Brown? Are you listening to Jim Rohn? Like, that's the only difference. That's the only difference. You're surrounding. And if you change that, you change your life.
I totally agree.
Eyesight versus mindsight. If you master that, bro, you're going to change your life. Take me as an example of it. And I'm just a small example. It's people like that are way further that will tell you the same stories 10 times more than that, who put in way more money, way more discipline, that are even further along than that. But like, yo, your journey starts here. Like, if you just started this whole self-help, self-motivation and just started getting around the right people, dog, you got like 10 years before you start seeing the manifestation of this stuff. You got 10 years. Don't think just because you was reading a couple books for a year that you find like, yo, I should start seeing some success. I'm around all the great people. I should start seeing success now. Wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was still listening to self-help, self-motivation. I only had $100 in my account. I read Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. I read that book like 3-4 times, and I still ain't see, I still had for 5-6 years, still ain't see a million. I'm like, this book, yo, I don't know if this book got the right information. It did. It was a matter of time. That's it. 6-7 years before I even started seeing a small amount. How many years are you willing to put into this, bro? And something that E.T. said too. He said, yo, if I told you that you had to wait 10 years if you waited 10 years, failure after failure after failure, people talking about you, your family turning their back on you, your friends, I'm not saying that this is me, I'm saying family turning your back on you, friends, people talking about you, people saying this, everything going crazy. If you had to endure that for 10 years, and at the end of the 10 years, I can guarantee you that anything that you want out of life is going to be yours. Would you do it? And if your answer to that is yes, then shut up, put your head down, and do the work that's necessary in order to get there. If your answer to that is no, then just know that you've accepted the life of being average, and that is fine. But just make sure if you accept that, look yourself in the mirror and say, I've accepted this life of being average. I decided that I don't want to wait 10 years. I decided I don't want to invest in self-help. I'd rather go to Miami, listen to Gunna and do all that. I decided all of that. So if that's the case, I'm not going to get jealous when I see my friends be seeing success who took 10 years with no BS, no going out, no nothing. I'm not going to get jealous of them when I pull up to their nice houses. They got nice cars. They're happy. They're successful. They are financially free. I'm not going to be mad at them because they waited 10 years with doing nothing and totally focusing on their craft. I ain't going to be jealous of them. I'm going to come to their crib and say, nice house. I'm going to sit down, get something to eat and go home. And when I go home, I'm going to be happy with my home that I have because I've accepted the life of being average. If that's you, cool. Just make sure don't have no jealousy, because if you got jealousy, it means that you're hiding something. You were lying to yourself the whole time that you actually did want to see success. You just really didn't want to put in the work. Eyesight versus mindsight. And with that said, I think we've said enough. You got anything else, Van? Anything else you want to hit them off with?
Not really. That was That was supposed to be what, 20 minutes? we hit the 45 with just that one subject. Yeah, we got to do more of these.
Listen,
we got to do more of these,
bro. That was that is a yo. Yeah. Bro, that's a mindset shift right there, yo. It really is. We could talk about this all day because I think that's the foundational piece to everything.
It is.
Outside of action, that right there makes up like 60 to 75% of it. Action is just 25. To me, action is only like 20, 25% of it. The other 75% is done behind closed doors. Like we talked about with DK Metcalf. The 75% of him running to catch that guy was behind closed doors. The other 25% was just him doing it live, where everybody was able to see it and they was able to clap. That's it.
Yeah, like when that moment came, he showed up.
It was time to shine. But the 75% was behind closed doors. The discipline, the strength, the conditioning, the mindset, practice every single day, not going out, not doing nothing. I'm locked in. I'm going to be the best player in the world. Then we got to witness the 25% of it.
Yeah.
And that's it. So with that said, we out of here, man. I think we talked about it. Please, brothers, don't just listen to this. Please take action on the information that we're talking about right now. We just provided 2 very phenomenal examples of that, man. Realistic stories. Please take action on that stuff, yo. Please. And by the way, if you have any loved ones, utilize what Van said as far as from a perspective standpoint. You have any loved ones that passed away, or you still got loved ones in your life right now, don't wait till the last minute. Mindsight will tell you that, yo, life is short, and I need to maximize the time that I have with the people who are in my life right now, right? Do everything that you can. Max out. Like my man Ed Milet would say, max out. With that said, I'm Prince Donnell, the pastor of business and also the founder of Jumping Jack Tax. And I'm here, my right-hand man, the man with the cam.
Ron Vann Dam.
And this is another episode of $1 Million Life Lessons, the Man Cave edition, where we talked about difference between eyesight versus mindsight. We will see y'all again for the next episode where we plan to drop even more heat. Peace.
Got my taxes jumping, now my bag coming with that major money. Dripping blessings, that might buy a house for my mama. Bad credit, don't even sweat it, cause they'll repair it, ain't no question.